I am live, so we are going to do this. Twitch. It might not pop up for the first minute. Oh, sure, of course, bro. No problem. It's the first time I've done fucking Tophat podcast 2 days in a row. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just cause like I give it as like a it's kind of like a shout out to other clubs. Like if people view it and like don't want to join ORMC, they've got other stuff to like other crews to join, so they know their recruitment stuff. Yeah.
There we go. Oh yeah, you're doing it through Twitch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
okay,
I just
cool.
upload it to the YouTube after.
All right, that's cool.
Ow, Cody, stop it. Behave. It's gonna be hard doing
Shit.
this stream with my dog, so
Hold on,
everybody just bear with me.
I just realized I made a mistake. I need to set that to public. Cool. I'll delete that. So after
write down
this,
questions, go ahead.
I know you said you might have to go, but if anyone else wants to do voices for this video, I'm more than available if anyone wants to do that.
Yeah, we
All I gotta do is I just gotta bring my PlayStation back down to where it was.
Okay.
The problem with not my PlayStation, my Xbox. The problem with that is my internet is just so bad down there at the moment. Like I lagged out of the we had to sit down and I lagged out of it. So we'll see how that goes.
I could definitely get with you and get my lines out of the way.
Yeah,
Jordan
that works.
Will, for sure.
Okay, let me.
Depending on how my internet will be, same.
I thought about it. I will not voice my character because I am sick.
There we go. That's okay. I haven't actually written any lines for your character, but she's just standing there in like the background of some scenes. So.
Yeah, background character.
That's what I do all the time anyway.
You're an NPC, your background character.
But yeah. So there's a couple people watching. I'm pretty sure it's people in the
one of them
chat, like in the party.
One of them
right.
moderating.
Yeah.
Right, I'm now live on YouTube as well, so.
For sure. So
that's good.
Wilkie, if you want to introduce yourself to everybody that on the stream at the moment. Ow, Cody, stop it! Stop.
I think you need to teach your dog some manners. Right.
Punches me in the face.
So I'm War Wilkie. I'm the president of Sons of War MC, and I've been the president of this crew since 2017. But it originally was formed back in September of 2013, back on Xbox 360.
Okay.
I've been in the community, I guess, like pretty much just over 10 years. I've just played around on 360 a lot when I was a fucking kid, and I don't really interact with the community too much now. I'm just mostly making content and machinima videos and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. So what made you join Sons of War then?
Um, I guess it's a bit of a long story, but to put it bluntly, for about maybe a year and a half beforehand, I had been when I moved over to Xbox One, and the community on GTA was a lot different than it was on Xbox 360, and I had helped so many different MCs from 2016 and 2017, just getting up off their feet and realizing that I was putting in so much effort into like a handful of different clubs that had potential, but always had leaders that would just give up or move on and just dip, or just had like, I guess, promoting fucking dickheads to officer positions and then drama and shit. And I just kind of had enough of it. But at the same time, it was like, for me, I always wanted to make content for a crew that I was part of and that I respected and loved. And I always wanted to do it as like a brotherhood around other people. But every group I was in had never, it would never last for much longer than maybe a couple of months. And it always annoyed me, especially since the last crew before I joined this one was like a rebirth of literally the first MC I was ever part of on Xbox 360, called Devils in Debt. And what happened was, back on 360, the original president, Turkish Bard Thor, had given it to the VP. And one day in 2017, after like years of going silent, the old VP, whose name was Shawnee One Kenobi, randomly came online on Xbox and got into a party with Trickish, and he just asked him, by any chance, do you still have access to that club on Social Club? And he just did. So he handed the crew back over. And I was really excited because, again, this was an old 2013 crew that I was part of and really brought back memories of the Xbox 360 days. And even then, like, it just felt like the same shit was happening, where people were getting officer positions and just exploiting themselves, or just shoving their fucking tongue as far up the president's ass as possible. And it just got to a point where I was fed up with it. And I was nearly done with the whole MC shit. But then I just remember getting in contact with the original president of this club, called Sneaky Tater 69, and he basically didn't really use it. He, like, it was for him and his brother and a couple of friends of theirs. And I just asked him one day, would you ever sell it? And he was like, yeah, sure. So he handed it over to me in 2017. We still talk. We're still really good friends. I've actually met him twice in real life. And I was like, right, now I have a 2013 club, just because like the original 2013 club I was part of wasn't going to go anywhere. So I want to make something of this instead. And basically everything that I did here in Sons of War, with all the videos and content creation, was stuff that I had always wanted to do. But I was kind of, basically, I was sick of the idea of making videos and content for other people if they weren't going to keep those MCs going or those crews going. So my mentality was, if, you know, it's up to me to keep this crew going, I'll keep this going and I'll keep making content for this crew. So that's kind of where I've been at, and I've been doing it for what, 7 years? So that's, yeah.
For sure. So, what are the founding beliefs or like values behind Sons of War? Because I know, like you said, you joined in 2017, but I figured like maybe you'd have some insight on what the founder, like maybe when you bought it, maybe he had some expectations or something like that. Was there any expectations to whenever you decided to go with Sons of War?
Um, Again, not really. So the thing with like some of us that had made MCs back on Xbox 360, we made them because, say for like the old MC I was part of, it was just us and a couple of friends at school. Someone saw Sons of Anarchy and then saw the old leather jackets that were in the game on day one and was like, hey, you can put a crew logo on the back of this. And then we made a shitty fucking biker patch, like really cartoonish looking, with the emblem editor that was on Rockstar Social Club. And all we
Hmm.
did was play the game normally, even in assisted aim, as a group, as a team. We just did the missions, the Gerald, Lamar, whatever missions were like in the standard game. But we just played it as like a group, as friends, but we dressed as bikers and we drove bikes. And then we realized as we were doing it, more and more people were also doing that as well. So it wasn't really like a, I guess we weren't part of the MC community, quote unquote, but we were still RPing as bikers on our own terms. And
Hmm.
the original guy who made Sons of War was pretty much in the same vote. It was for him, his brother, and a couple of friends, and I don't even think even the crew even had a proper biker patch, but it just was like just a crew that him and a few mates of them made, and that was really it. It had no intention of being what it is today or having any old values or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure. So, clearly everybody knows you're working on a biker series with
Hmm.
a lot of clubs involved in them. Um, what made you decide to go with a whole entire bikers theme type thing? Like, what was the true inspiration for doing that? Because
For
I
the
know we're involved. We're currently working on our episode at the moment.
for the bikers of
Like,
Los Santos.
yeah, yeah.
So it was an idea I had came up with a couple of years ago, but originally I was thinking of doing it on console, but as I kind of got further and further into the idea, I thought it wouldn't have really have been possible. But then I got a gaming PC. I started playing around with mods on Red Dead Redemption 2 when I started that series. And then obviously there's the GTA 5 scenes in that series. So I started playing around with GTA 5 mods as well. And I realized like how much potential is you can really do with some of the mods and some of the shit you can spawn in and characters you can create and animations you can add to all the scenes. And it was like, I guess looking at it, I thought, you know what? No one's really done anything excessive with this. Like with me, with like, I guess my cinematic experience, I was looking at it and being like, I could really do something with this. So I brought back the idea of doing Bikers of Los Santos, but instead, I do it solely with mods. So I wouldn't need
Hmm.
to, have to drag everyone online to do this scene or that scene. I could do it solely myself because originally, like, you could see even now in the MC community where like people will have, you know, falling outs or this person won't show up or, ranks get swapped around and things like that. So I guess it kind of avoided uh if there was any issues going down the line if I did it on console. So I decided to do it on PC because, again, I got access to using mods and was like, I kind of want to do something with this before moving to GTA 6. So the idea was always kind of there. It was like, why not we just go around and ask some of the older, well-established MCs and just kind of give something back to the community? Um,
Yeah.
and like I asked a few different clubs, some of them turned it down, um, or some of them even didn't get back to me. Like I was trying to reach out to some older crews, like Bound by Blood, um, and yeah, I think I guess some people were kind of maybe iffy with the idea of having someone else use their patch, because I guess most people get PTSD of gravings and patch pulling and things like that. But then other clubs, like say Hell's Escort, have worked with me before, and they know full well like that's just not the type of person I am. So, um,
Yeah.
it was kind of tricky getting some people on board, but then it was like I kind of look back on the people who had helped me in the past. So, 85 MC, Heirs of Ares, Outcasts, and even like some of the old people from the old MC I was part of, DDMC. So
Hmm.
those were kind of the ones I was mainly looking at. And then there was a couple of other people I was chatting with. But I guess since we did the first video, I've had a couple of more
Hmm.
people reach out to me, so I might have a few other MCs as backgrounds, but I'm not terribly sure yet. It's still kind of, work in progress.
Yeah, I get you.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so obviously, Sons of War is pretty popular with their series. And one of my personal favorites is your
Warriors.
Warriors inspiration. Yeah. So like, what did you just one day decide, like, wake up one day and have the idea that let's try and do like a warrior scene, like a Warriors type
Okay,
movie-ish
I,
thing?
I'm not going to rob the credit for that. That idea, it was partially in my head, but
Hmm.
I think the the person who really kind of brought the idea to life was Trickish Bard 4. So, what happened was we were writing season two. I had basically written out episode by episode, well, not fully written out, but kind of like a synopsis of what each episode was going to be for season two. And I was trying to find a filler gap between, I guess, episode what it is now, 3 and 5. Um, because I wanted the twist of Scully coming back in. I was like, what can we do that no one's done before, whatever. And then we were chatting for a bit, and I'm pretty sure it was him who brought up the idea of why don't we do a Warriors thing, and just asked a few different MCs to get involved. So, like again, I didn't want it to be just any random MC, to be kind of like originally, so I tried to get as many known names as possible. But the yeah, I think it was mostly because it was at the heart of COVID when we were doing it, so it was a lot easier to do it because everyone was indoors, everyone was online, and at first some of the MCs that we tried to get involved weren't. Again, some of them had like old grudges against us that we just didn't even know about. Um, but then there was so many pop-up MCs as well happening at the time, so it wasn't hard to get new people to come in, or some people just wanted their MCs somewhere just in some part of this episode. Um, I think the last bit we even did with that episode was the Vietnam scene. Like that wasn't even originally scripted. It was just the which update came out? Maybe it was already in the game. I can't remember, but the Vietnam boat was like added to the game or something, and then we were like, oh, what if we had this Vietnam flashback scene? And I remember we had Outcasts MCLS helped us with that, so we were swapping back and forth between like the US soldiers and the Viet Cong. Um, Heirs of Ares helped us with fighting the natives scene. So natives MC is like a really old MC that no one liked back in Xbox 360. They were just a bunch of dickheads, but we had an old crew that had like their patch on it, and I remember we had Heirs of Ares come along and help us with that. So some of them dressed up as natives, and then we did that whole fight scene. Um, and yeah, there was just some like other little things like we threw in. What other MC was it? It was Sons of Polito Bay was another dickhead crew that we just did a scene there to like we threw in a couple of grudges to put it bluntly, but it was more for like fun and just I think for the video itself it turned out really well. And again, like as you said, like it's one of your favorite episodes or videos, and some people come to me and they say the same thing, you know? So I don't know. I think it was definitely fun to do. It really was probably one of the last times we really got a lot of the community together to work on a single project, and it just came out really well. So maybe, I don't know, maybe in GTA 6 we could. I don't think we'll do a Warriors thing like we did, but I'd like to try and get
Yeah,
a bunch of MCs together again and work on a big project like that again in the future. But we'll just have to wait and see whenever Rockstar release GTA 6.
for sure. So it's like is like editing a video like that like difficult? Like getting everybody to do a specific thing or make sure everybody's doing the right thing is like the recording process and editing it difficult because I'm not a video creator. I can't create videos or shit. So
Um, so let's see. I think it's, I guess filming the scenes themselves can be very uh, time uh, constraining because as I've kind of worked it out over my years of filming, when you're in a public or sorry, even an invite only session on GTA, you have roughly
mhm.
about 20 minutes of daylight and 20 minutes of nighttime, and then maybe like a couple of minutes in between. And like that doesn't sound like it would be too bad until you start filming and you realize how quick the day and night cycle really is. Um, so I guess some scenes when you're doing it on console can be pretty rushed unless like people are willing to like wait out a daylight cycle or a nighttime cycle just to continue filming again. And then you got weather, so then like rain could randomly start or it could be really cloudy or really sunny and then like things might not line up, but for the most part it tends to work out pretty well. And with the Rockstar editor, you can repeat clips. So sometimes what I'll do is maybe I'll like record a 20-second clip or something, and it might be someone talking, and then you'd repeat the clip, but you'd put it at a different camera angle to make it look like they're still proceeding to talk or something. Um, so, I
Mhm.
mean, for me, it's not too difficult because I've played around with it enough. I've interacted with it and I've tested. Um, but most of the time, it's really trial and error. I'd say with like the editing side of everything is not too hard to figure out. It's mostly just slapping in video files and audio files and just matching them up with people's mouth movements and things. Um, but like, I mean, I've been making videos since I was a kid on like a crappy little laptop that I had. So like, it's just been something I've been doing for a long time. So to say it's difficult for me, I don't find it difficult. I can find it time consuming, but I
Mhm.
would say for someone who doesn't understand it or hasn't ever done it before, it could come across as difficult. But I, if it's something that anyone's interested in doing, I'd imagine they'd pick it up quite quickly.
Of course. And so like back to the MC style of shit. So you know how being a president is kind of like difficult in this community the way it
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
right now, and you see so many clubs pop up and close because they either can't handle it or get bored of a patch. So say, what would be your advice to a new guy that's like looking to start up a club? Would you like what would you recommend for him per se?
As of right now,
Mm-hmm.
um, part of me kind of wants to say don't set it up, but realistically, like I haven't been properly in the community for like interacting and stuff for quite a number of years. But with GTA 6 around the corner, I don't really see much potential in GTA 5 right now. And it's why I'm not recruiting because I feel like I don't want to deal with people coming in or going or feeling like they're bored because I'm focusing on something else and I'll open in GTA 6. But I mean, for a new club, uh, things I would say avoid. I noticed some people set up crews straight away. Like I've had it where someone will hit me up with a message and it's like, oh, we should have a sit down and talk about an alliance. And I'll check them up on Social Club, and it's like a two-man crew with like an MC that they just made yesterday. And it's like, don't do things like that. You know, at the end of the day, if you're a brand new crew or a brand new MC, don't have an excessive ego because it's going to backfire on you. Um, don't be looking for alliances straight away. I think you need to just kind of find your own footing, find your own ground. And what I would probably advise is if you are looking to start a new club, what's the point of your club over someone else's? Because all I see for most people is they'll take a generic name, grab a patch off Google, slap it on the back of their jacket, and they're no different than 100 other crews. They'll go around shooting people, getting knife clips on Instagram or whatever, and then they shut down in a month's time. What I would advise would be, what can you do that's different to other MCs? Like, how can you stand out over the crowd? Because there's an audience there of bikers, but everyone pretty much does the same thing. So if you are setting up something new, I would say do something different. Do something that no one else has done. Either wear a particular jacket color or I don't know. I mean, that's what we did, but like I don't know. I mean, find I can't really give suggestions because I mean for me it's having a specific jacket, a specific style that no one else has really done, and and then making videos as well. So I would say for someone else, maybe try find something that just hasn't been done before and let that be your theme. But when it comes down to like recruiting and stuff, again, it depends what you want out of your MC. Because most of these like shooter clubs will just get numbers and that's all they want. But I would say if you're looking to be like a decent crew, start off relatively small, um, and then just kind of build up from there. You're
Hmm.
best off having a handful of people that you can trust than having 20 people that are just gonna get you in drama or get you in trouble, or every day you're getting a message of them getting into a fight with someone and you have to go deal with it. It's time consuming and it can be stressful and annoying for the most part. Um, but again, that's just my opinion. Some people might have others.
Of course. I feel like definitely having your own identity is a thing because you see so many clubs on this game that go inspired of an IRL club. Like you'll see Outsiders are like outlaw inspired clubs. You see so many Hells Angels, Mongols, and shit like that. So I feel like if people have their own identity and their own like unique patch style, or like you said, even colors wise,
Hmm.
because like Outcast Reapers is where Tophat Reapers, we like if you look at our patch, it's kind of like we symbolize a, as one of the X members would put it, a certain type of elegance to where we aren't based off of any other club in this community but ourselves. We've done
Right,
things that
right.
are different than everybody else. We still to this day hold our old school values to where we still, if you're prospecting, you are still put through hard, you're still hard time, you do all the same shit that we used to do, which is why I feel like a lot of clubs that just stick to their hardcore values and do what they've been doing all like these many years, because there's some old school clubs that change, that adapt to this new age of the community, and it's always the people that sit there and complain about how shitty the community is are the people that are still helping the community be as shitty as it is. Because
Yeah,
I've had so many friends that bitch about it, but they're still doing the same old shoot first shit, e-woing and all this other shit, right? So It's like, be different. Don't be the same fucking style clubs like the rest of them,
I think most of
in
the
my
old
opinion.
MC isn't even prepared for what's going to come in GTA 6. Um,
Absolutely.
when I was like talking with, say, Bound by Blood, like I get this impression for even like old Xbox 360 crews, like Sons of War. There's a lot of MCs that still own those crews, but they haven't done anything with them, and they'll talk like it's as if they hold themselves up to a high value, but they haven't done anything in years. They don't really have anything to show for their crew besides of how old it is, and I don't think they're. I don't think most MCs will last going into GTA 6. Like the reason why I don't want to really recruit on GTA 5 especially is because I think the community in GTA 6 is going to be different. Not even just the MC community. I just mean the entire GTA community as a whole is going to be different than what we're seeing here in GTA 5. Even now you can see things slightly changing here in GTA 5, but my theory is more so that GTA 6 is going to be like a combination of 5 and Red Dead Redemption's multiplayer, like community wise. Um,
Hmm.
and when I went over to Red Dead, it's like there is so many different types of people. Like you couldn't really list them all on two hands. It's insane to
Hmm.
like some of the people you'll come across. But I don't know. I think for MCs, people need to learn to adapt. Um, and again, just like as you said, have their own identity. And I think that's something that's very unique or very critical for MCs to be, is to just be themselves and don't be like every other MC that's out there. You know, don't be a shoot first club. Don't be a fucking dickhead looking for clout. Don't be, you know, a generic pop-up crew that's gonna last for a month. It just, I don't know. It's
Exactly.
it's something that I kind of saw years ago, and I just got out of it because even when I was running Sins of War full time, um, back in like 2019, I could even see like the community was like slowly crumbling. Like it just I had seen how pathetic people could really be. Um, like when I was building Sons of War, when I was like doing season one and those videos, and I had some people coming in and being part of the crew and wanting to like, represent it. But the amount of like little dramas and things that I wasn't prepared for back then, um, it just becomes really overwhelming. And it's what really annoyed me was I remember the old community, or at least from what I can remember, because I was like 15 back on GTA 5 on Xbox 360. So,
Hmm.
like, even though we played assisted aim or we, did our own thing, we didn't really go around fighting MCs. We still attended some bike meets, and those were just great. Like it was literally just people who had a common interest in the game to RP as bikers, and that's what they were mostly doing. Like yeah, there was the casual wars and things like that. That was one thing I wanted to bring up, was like how pathetic a lot of the wars on, or even like patch pulling and shit, is now on GTA. Because back in
Hmm.
the day, most of the fighting was heavily frowned upon, and some of
Hmm.
it was quite goofy. Because I even remember like when I was hanging around with some MCs, there was these two MCs that used to constantly bicker to each other. One was natives, and the other was called Sons of Anarchy Cali. Um, and one was led by a guy called Mark Carroll. The other one was led by, I don't know his real name, but it was like Jedi Thugs was his gamer tag. But these were like two 30-year-old men, And at one point, they were just there arguing about who had the sexier wife, like a genuine argument. And it was really pathetic, but it was so funny and goofy of just seeing these grown ass men like having a bitching contest. Like it got to such an extent. You know how now everyone has a fucking Instagram account, but back then people used to make websites, and Natives MC had a thing on their website. It's long gone. Their website's long down, but it's they used to have a thing called Cotton Cam, and at the very top of it at one point, this guy had such a grudge against this other dude that they took a picture of him in real life, like from his Facebook page, put it on their website, and they took like it was like the guy and his wife, and she had like a mole or something on her cheek, and they just had like another image off to the side, and it was like a picture of like bacteria with like an arrow pointing to this mole. Like it was really pathetic fucking shit. And even some of the drama that you used to see before Rockstar updated the social club website, like when you're able to like make posts and stuff underneath your crew, those used to be just full of arguments and shit in like some random crews. But like all of that is just gone. And with like the fighting and the wars, with the thing with like patch pulling and stuff, like it used to be a challenge where you had to go stab someone, pull out your phone and take a picture, because this was back on 360 where you couldn't screenshot or record anything. So your only way of getting proof of doing such a thing was taking a picture in game and sending it to Social Club. And there was a bit of a challenge to it. But now I see MCs doing this, and it's like, it's not even worth it anymore. It's why I kind of got out of like all of that bullshit drama. I didn't want Sons of War to be like that. I didn't want to be known for pointless combat and just fighting in lobbies for like 4 hours straight. I'd done all that back in 2016 and 2017. I didn't want that for this crew. So
Mm-hmm.
I just I know I've went on a bit of a rant there, but it's the community is just not what it used to be. It used to be really calm, it used to be really friendly, and any like drama was kind of like funny drama. But then a lot of MCs, I guess after the biker petition, started taking their shit like seriously, like too seriously, and it just got out of hand. And now all that's left in the community are just sloppy seconds and just little pop-up crews that just really can't last because the community and the game itself just isn't really there anymore. That's why I'm kind of just waiting for GTA 6, because I know when that game comes out, you're going to see a revival in the GTA community, no matter how bad GTA 6 can be at launch. And it may be bad, it may not be what we're expecting, but regardless, it'll be a revival nonetheless. And I don't think that a lot of the MCs now are going to like the shooter clubs, the pop-up shooter clubs, I don't think are really going to last. And I think the really, really old crews that have been gone for way too long and have no social media presence, no kind of they don't really have value that they might have had back on Xbox 360. I don't think they're going to last either. And it's weird. I, I I miss the old community, but now I just know I have to embrace whatever's going to come in GTA 6. So I will say to people, just adapt and don't be so bogged down in wars. Don't be so bogged down in one percenter rules. Find a handful of good people. And even if you don't, like if you really care about the MC that you're part of, then do it yourself. Most of what you see here with Sons of War, I did myself 95%. Like it's,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, if you are genuine about wanting to run whatever MC, just put all of your heart and love into it and find how you can be unique, how you can be something that do something that no one else has done, or have a certain style, stand out from the crowd, and just, I guess, improve that crew as much as you possibly can. I'm just going to stop the rant there before I start going down multiple different laneways and don't stop. So,
You're good, buddy. That's what this podcast is for. I'm intrigued by your responses because I feel like a lot of the clubs nowadays, they're so worried about numbers. So whenever they see a club that's like a shooter club and they're seeing like they have 80 plus people a part of their crew or like 40, it makes them multiply because people start saying, hey, I want to be like them because look at they're being successful, right? And
oh
I
yeah,
think that's where the community is just it's crazy because I feel like if you had your own idea, even though you might not get the members you want out of it, you'd be 10 times more happier than hopping from patch to patch to patch because I've heard from some people like there's a person in Holy Deities that even said themselves like that club is just a temporary club. There should be no club that is temporary for you. That club should be like 100% for you. If you're gonna join a club, don't just wear it because you haven't found anything better, or you haven't found what you're looking for yet. I feel like taking the time to find an MC or find your own idea for your own MC. But nowadays, I definitely would not recommend starting up any clubs because this community is full of clubs every day. If you go look at social clubs that do uploading, you see how many clubs get uploaded every day. It's probably about 200 to 300 new clubs every single day that pop up on this game. And it's really sad to see the state of the community where there's the days of the programs. Nobody can sit there and just use ARs to enjoy themselves anymore. There's programs, there's EWOing, there's just nothing about this game because back in the day, even when I was in ORMC back in 2017, like wars were fun. Like I remember we'd get in like 30 plus hour lobby wars with Deadly Tribe, keeping it straight 1%, just having a good time, whether you were getting your shit smacked in or whether you were smacking them. It was just a fun time. And nowadays you can't even have a fun fight without all the bullshit that the new age community, such as Fast Run, fucking no recoil accounts, all this
modded
other
accounts
shit.
are fucking stupid.
Absolutely.
That's another reason why I'm just staying away from most of it.
And absolutely, and that's
Just
why
hold on.
like people think that okay.
Hold on.
Mhm.
All right, sorry about that.
Oh, you're good,
Alright.
buddy.
It's all good.
Forgot what I was gonna say. Hold on, I had something I wanted to say.
We're talking about
Yeah, I
like
can't
all
remember.
people with modded accounts and shit, and
Oh
it's like,
yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, I don't think. Like again, it's just everything's gotten too toxic. So when I'm saying to adapt, I mean shooter clubs are shooter clubs. They're all the fucking same. They're all going to end up like that. They're all going to dismantle at some point in time. Just if you want to be a decent crew, don't look up to crews like that. Just do your own thing, stay under the radar, and just kind of build on your own terms, on your own like rules. Don't be a shoot first crew. Just I don't know, come up with your own identity and then just build from there. But again,
Absolutely.
like why I would also say wait for GTA 6 is, especially if you're going to go with like a specific style, we don't know what clothing options are going to be in GTA 6. We don't even know if we're going to have a good variety of biker jackets or anything like that. Like, I would like to have like camouflage jackets maybe again, like what I threw on this one again, but like even the patch I have at the moment is slightly different. It's more for like a black jacket or something like that. But I'm thinking, like, I might update it or update the patch depending on what the clothing options is like in GTA 6.
Mhm.
So, again, I would hold off at the moment. Unless there was someone out there and they really did want to start their own crew or they had their own idea of something different that's never been done before, then by all means go ahead, but don't start a crew and start asking for alliances or trying to think, oh, I'm the president of insert generic Google generated name here. Like, no, just be chill and just fucking just do your own thing.
Yeah, I understand that. And it's like, don't worry about what other people gotta say about your MC, because people say Outcast Reapers is dead all the time. But
Mm-hmm.
like, that's just because we don't give a fuck to go in a public lobby to go shoot. We mainly chill in invite onlys. Whenever we recruit, we're very selective on who we recruit. We have applications that come through our chat.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say all the time, but it's not to the point where we're dead. We just don't accept certain people that have certain resumes. Like if you have fucking 300 shooter clubs on your resume, we're obviously clearly not going to accept you because you're not worth our time. You're here
Yeah.
to shoot and we're not about that. And I feel like I would never start up an MC nowadays unless you've got the like mentality and you have experience in the MC community, because 2020 I don't feel like that's experience in the MC community. I feel like people that start up clubs don't really know anything about clubs. They just saw it while they were in a
Oh
street
yeah,
gang,
absolutely.
while they were on GTA, and they were like, cool, I want to do that. They find someone on Instagram to make a patch, cool, they've done it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad to see, because back in the day, like, I'm old school MC community as well. I saw it at the height of its life before the biker DLC even dropped. And it's it's so sad to see what it's come to, and the MC community for me is very, very fucking pathetic.
Mm.
So like, I don't even have any advice for someone starting up a new club, because I just don't see the value in starting up a new club. And like you said, with GTA 6 around the corner, you never know what's going to happen with GTA 6, because we might not even have crews in GTA 6. Nobody
Yeah.
knows
I
besides
think I said
Rockstar
that
what's
to
going
you
into it.
as well, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I keep hearing that they're meant to be making like a new website or something for like I
Hmm.
guess how they're gonna handle the quote unquote TikTok part of GTA 6. You know how like GTA 5 has Snapmatic, which is
Yeah.
literally like a parody of Snapchat. I think they're going to be doing something like that, but with like their own version of TikTok. Um,
Hmm.
But I don't know. Again, I don't know how they'll handle it. One of the reasons why I think they could make a new website, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know how exactly this will work, but I know that like Rockstar's servers are really bad when it comes to people grabbing certain other people's IPs and shit like that. So
Hmm.
maybe having a website that, or having like zero connection to GTA 5 as possible might be beneficial for GTA 6. Like,
Hmm.
don't bring over your character, don't bring over modded accounts or anything like that. I don't know,
Yeah.
like, if I could be talking garbage, I don't know, but maybe we'll see crews again, maybe not. I mean, in Red Dead Online, they were pretty much non-existent. They were you
Yeah.
only ever saw a crew tag when you got killed, and that was it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're going
Yeah.
to work it, but yeah.
I, I don't know, because some people got theories, right? And my theory is they spent, because if you haven't noticed, Social Club website changed a couple months ago. And for me, switching up Social Club just didn't make much sense to me, just for the game to only be up for another year. So like, my thing is, maybe they will bring crews over, but that'll be the only thing they bring over from Social Club. You
Maybe.
won't have any of your characters, because if you think about it, it wouldn't make much sense to be able to transfer your character from GTA 5 over to GTA 6. Like, there's no like way. I don't think it'd be productive for them to do that. I think they'd make more money, because Rockstar is all just about making fucking money. That's all they
Mhm.
care about. um I feel like they do it to where you need to create a new character, because then they'd make more money off of, even if they don't name it shark cards, they make it off of money cards. I feel like they probably do that so they're more profitable. But
I
once again,
think
like, nobody knows.
I think what they'll plan to do, and I don't know exactly, but I kind of theorized this months before they bought the Red M and 5M servers. Um,
Yeah.
I have a feeling they'll try and import that onto console for maybe GTA 5 next gen, maybe an updated version of Red Dead, and let that be its own thing on GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 while they focus on GTA 6. And maybe just like, I presume you've played games like, DayZ, I think Minecraft does it with Realms,
I play
and
Armory Forger and stuff like that. So
yeah, some people have community servers. It could be something
yeah.
like that, and they just make money off of it, of people having literally 5M servers. I would imagine that's how they would do it, but I don't know. We haven't heard anything from
Exactly.
that, but we'll just have to wait and see. I don't think
I
it's
feel like.
really a good idea
Go ahead.
to speculate too much until we get more information. I'm
Exactly.
anyway. However they do GTA 6, like I mean, I just want to go on to that game, and for me, it's like a new game plus, because from everything that I've been through in GTA 5 and Red Dead Online, I've kind of learned a lot from mistakes and shit that I made, and I
Mm-hmm.
want to be able to go into GTA 6 with a complete new mindset, but also being able to learn from anything that I did wrong in the past and how I could improve in the future, either it be through recruiting, uh, officer positions, how I engage with certain people, um, and other crews, just casual things. But I think I have a better understanding now than I did many, many years ago. So that's why I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
excited. It's kind of like hitting the restart button, but you already know how to play the game. So, yeah,
Of
I'm
course.
I'm kind of I'm just gonna wait till GTA 6. So that's why I haven't been recruiting or anything like that.
Yeah, and I feel like so many people are like so hyped up and have so many expectations from GTA 6, and I don't
Mm.
feel like they should, because nobody knows exactly what's gonna happen except for Rockstar. Rockstar might actually just fuck the game completely. You never truly know what happens with these game developers. So putting expectations, like there's people expecting to have realistic looking biker cuts or stuff for street gang, realistic military looking stuff. Like I feel like having expectations is what's gonna kill. Like, because we were having this conversation with Jacobites yesterday,
Hmm.
where I think it'll kill your drive to even want to play the game if it doesn't meet your expectations. Because it's a whole new game. There's no point in really expecting a lot from the game because there's going to be mistakes at the very beginning, like every other game. Like GTA 5 wasn't perfect whenever it first came out. Online wasn't released right away. You know what I mean? It's one
Yeah,
of
yeah.
those things where you just kind of got to wait the game out to see if it's even going to be any good before you make expectations of the game. But we're 53 minutes in. I'm gonna open up the questions for the table, see if they've got any questions, because I'm gonna end the live stream around an hour and 5 minutes, hopefully, so I can do what I gotta do.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna open up the table, see if they've got any questions. Jorgen, Jazz, Cade, Land. If you guys got any questions, you guys feel free to ask. So, Jorgen, you got any questions you'd like to ask Wookie?
No, to be
He's in
honest.
there.
Yep.
I got nothing to be honest.
How about you, Cade? Land? You good? I'm gonna ask.
Um, I don't have any questions. Just eating and listening.
Very helpful.
As always.
All right. Well, how did you happen to get your hands on ORMC, Copa? Swap the questions around.
Yeah, you can ask any of us
Wait,
questions too.
is Copa AFK?
Either his controller disconnected or his Wi-Fi is bugging out.
Oh, damn.
I'm back. My controller died. My bad. I had to run all the way downstairs to grab fucking batteries. So what did you ask me, Wilkie? I didn't hear you.
I was just asking, how did you get your hands on ORMC? How did that go through?
Oh, so a lot of people have fucking speculations on what actually happened, but no. I didn't even know ORMC was sold. Davis sold ORMC to a guy. Um, I didn't even know it was back till like a couple days after the guy bought it and started sending out invites. So one of the old members that I knew, he joined back, so I messaged him on Xbox. I said, because one of my buddies hit me up saying, "Did you know Outcast Reapers is back?" I said, "You're fucking lying. There's no fucking chance." I check on Social Club, and there's people in the crew, so I hit up one of the guys that I saw the Social Club when I knew him. He was ORMC Jarls at the time. Um, Saw he joined back, so I messaged him. I was like, "Is there any way I could come back to ORMC?" Because I was kind of fucked out of it in 2021. Because back in the day, there were so many fucking cliques in this club. Like you could never like, as a new member, there was no way you could interact and be a legit family with people. So I messaged him. I asked if I could join back. He got me in a party with a guy, and I was the last person that was allowed to get their patch back in Outcast Reapers, and we kind of just went on from there. About a week down the road, there were some internal issues with the national president, the national VP, and enforcer. Pretty much the whole entire national table that he elected didn't like him and how he was acting and how he just didn't give a fuck about the club. So
Right.
he just was like, because I messaged him, I was like, this is just a lot of bullshit. I didn't sign it up for it. And he was like, well, I'm thinking about shutting down the club. I was like, well, why not just let me buy it? I'll buy it off you. I'll keep it going. Because I genuinely love this club. This is where I started out at. So I offered to buy it. And he said, let me think about it. So about an hour goes by. He was like, you want to sell, man? If you get the money to buy it and you send it to me, it's all yours. I said, well, already a fucking done deal right there, y'all. That's all you had to say. I just sent him the money, and yeah. So I got leadership of the cruise. I didn't ever think I'd be here neither. Starting out as a little baby patch in 2017, like I was a squeaky ass voice kid. Like, like that was like this place was my home back in 2017. I worked through so many personal problems in this club to where it just I'd spend the amount of money on it. I don't give a fuck how much it costs. I've spent, and this is a very personal thing, but I've spent probably about $1,000 or more on this club since I got it, and I've had it for a year. Whether that be paying people to get crews back, or paying for mods, paying for clubhouses for my mods, or just anything really to help out the club. Really, that's all I spend money on. I don't have the money to do that anymore, but yeah, that's pretty much how I got ownership of it. Not a lot of people know that story because everybody just assumes that I'm a fake ORMC member and I just bought it to have it. But that was literally the old national president. That wasn't me. Because the old national president didn't even last a week.
Yeah, I mean, shit like that happens regularly enough. Like, you were in the party when you were in the party with me when who's the fucking guy? The guy from Sons of Blackwood. Do you
Yeah.
remember that? Yeah, I don't even think they were even the original Sons of Blackwood.
No, I don't
I
think
was just
that
doing
was
a
the
bit
big
more
thing.
research into them.
Yeah, and they didn't even last. They shut down a month later.
Yep.
So I feel like don't get a club if you don't like it. Don't get a club if you genuinely don't love it. That's what like.
I think that's a new thing that some people have been doing now that I've really noticed. Is like, so obviously that one happened. I had a message from a guy a couple of weeks ago, and they were trying to. He was part of a group of people that were trying to set up an old Voodoo Riders chapter. Now they're an old crew from 360 as well, and then like about a week later he messages me So I'd have to check it out on Xbox. What I won't check my messages now while recording, but it was yeah, he just said, "Oh, I don't think this is actually like the original guys. I don't even think this was like accepted by the original guys who set this up or whatever." And I think that's a thing some people are trying to do now. I think they're trying to get their hands on old crews because they think immediately it gives them like a better say in the community, or oh, we've been around this length of time. But it's like then you see them setting up a brand new social, or not social, but you see them setting up a brand new Instagram and trying to be like every other MC. But it's like, again, like as you said, don't get your hands on an old crew if you're not gonna do anything with it. Like when I got
Absolutely.
Sons of War, it was a dead crew. It wasn't. It never became anything. It wasn't anything like that. So I basically picked it up and did something with it. So
Exactly.
yeah,
I think the
I
I
mindset.
have a
crew dates
question.
now don't really work. Go ahead.
Okay.
Um, what made you start the Sons of War series? What made you get into that?
um.
That's a good question.
So I've always wanted to do videos. Um. Again, for other previous MCs I was part of, I was kind of making little machinimas like that. Now, not full-length series. We never got around to doing full-length series for other MCs, but I made like little recruitment ones or little, just short videos. Again, this would be when I was first getting used to the Rockstar editor back in 2016, so my skills were really fucking bad compared to now. And yeah, it was just, I always wanted to do a series. I always wanted to do a Machinima series ever since I was a kid when my cousin showed me Red versus Blue. And I was like, yeah, this is something I really want to do. This is awesome. Um, and again, I was like, fuck it. I don't want to do it for a brand new MC. It's why I got my hands on Sons of War. Because even in 2017, I was like, I don't want to start a new club. That's just, it wouldn't have been successful. It wouldn't have gotten anywhere. At least that was my mindset. So I was like, no, I want us to have something that represents me, and that's when I got Sons of War. So my series was something I always wanted to do. The inspiration, I guess, was for like Scorpio. My idea originally was I want to make a character that no one else has ever made. I was originally making like old white characters and thinking, this looks too much like fucking some guys you'd see in Reaper Lords or Banished Breed. And then I was making like just other various looking characters. I was like looking through tattoos and everything, and I saw the scorpion tattoo, and then it just stuck out, and I was like, ah, this would probably work with like an Asian character or something. This won't work with a white dude, so I kind of skipped it, and I kept going. And then again, I had been coming up with Scorpio's character for like at least 2 years prior before actually making Sons of War's first episode. But I then was like really thinking about it, and the whole concept for like the first episode was again a grudge. I was really thinking about someone who I really don't like in the MC community, which I will not say in this live stream, but they had a video where in a flashback they're in the Vietnam War, and I was thinking, well, what if my character, you probably already know, I'm not going to say it. Um, So I was thinking, well, what if I had my character as Vietnamese? And it was just a random thing that just popped into my mind, and then I just kind of ran with it. And then, yeah, I made the first episode, and that was the whole concept from there, and I just kept adding upon it, just more and more. Even when, like, I showed the first episode, I was in college at the time, and I showed it to my class. That was the premiere for my very first episode before releasing it on YouTube. And I remember there was a friend that I had in class. He was telling me about like old Irish mythologies, and he brought up Morrigan, who is the Celtic goddess of war. And then obviously that kind of came into my mind, and I came up with Morrigan as like his daughter and things like that. And even now with like the Red Dead videos I'm doing, they're mostly based off of, well, two things. One is events that actually happened to me when I was playing Red Dead Online, and two was a story that myself and another member of Sons of War, she's not in Sons of War anymore, but we had written this kind of story for Red Dead, or what the past would have been, like a prequel for Sons of War, and we never really got around to doing it because they never added a Rockstar editor to Red Dead Redemption 2. So that's why I got my PC and started playing around with mods, and we're literally the only crew on Red Dead that has a machinima series like this, which is crazy to think about, but it's, yeah, so I'm hoping to get this series done by the time GTA 6 comes out. I'm hoping to have Bikers of Los Santos done by the time GTA 6 comes out. And if I still have time, I hope to also finish the Enclave videos that we started as well. But with the rate things are going, I'm kind of... I don't know with the Enclave one. I think after the second episode, I might take a bit of a break. I'll have to wait and see. Bikers of Los Santos, I say, should be done by early 2025, the whole series, and then there's a chance the last episode of Sons of War Season 3 would be made after GTA 6 comes out. I'm thinking, but I don't know fully yet.
For sure. Well, I'm gonna end the podcast here because I have to move my Xbox downstairs again, but it was definitely great talking to you, Wilkie, and hearing definitely a lot of information from you. It was definitely a
Thank you.
treat because most people don't. Most people don't get the opportunity to listen to old school clubs, and this is what kind of podcast is about.
2 seconds.
Of course it did, kid. But no, appreciate you coming on. I know it's kind of cutting it short. We'll definitely have to get together again soon, kind of, because there's more I'd definitely like to talk about with this whole thing. That maybe we'll get another Tophat podcast going, and we'll get maybe some other old school clubs along with yourself, and kind of just have a big old chat and see what everybody's opinions are.
Sure. That sounds like that'd be fun.
That would actually be nice to do, bro. Fuck. That's old
Absolutely.
head, bro. That's
And
old head. There's
stream
not
on.
many of
We
us.
should definitely try set up like a big bike ride or something. I haven't done one of those in a while. Like just get a few different clubs together and just have a chill bike ride.